Hi friend, today we are going to be watercoloring this whimsical folk art inspired painting. It is great for the beginning watercolors, and we are using our Danielle Smith watercolors, and we will be using some color mixing to paint this Moody landscape. I hope you guys enjoy, so grab a cuppa and sit back and enjoy. Today is another cloudy winter day, so I thought it would be a perfect day to paint. I thought we could play around with some Moody colors. So we're going to use our Danielle Smith watercolor. And these were some of the colors that I was able to come up with. So I'm going to show you some of the mixes that I did. So I have a spare piece of paper. I'm going to let you look at the sketch at this time, and then I'm going to go ahead and pause the video so I can lighten it up. It's a good day for a cuppa. I got a cup of nice Earl Grey tea, so we will begin here. Okay, I am gonna go ahead and I wanna take our quinacridone rose right here. And I'm going to make a pretty good amount of it. And then I want to take some phthalo green. And take some more of our quinacridone rose. And then the phthalo green. And checking out the color. And that's actually really pretty. So I think we're gonna probably go ahead, and I want to use that for our sky. So we're gonna put this here. Trying not to use too much water. And then I'm going to go ahead and make some more. So this color is really pretty. Making a good bit of it. I'm really finding that I love using just a few of the limited colors. Going back, yeah. It seems like every time I do it, I get a different color. So we'll see what we come up with. Okay, so we're back to the purplish color. So I'm going to add just a smidge. That's too much of this yellow. And now that took it to a brownish. And this is kind of how I just play around. Taking some ultramarine blue. Okay, a little bit more ultramarine blue. I think we got her. I think that's going to be pretty for our sky. So we'll go ahead and put our sky mix here. Although I always seem to get my color lighter than what I should. Now, okay, so we got enough mixed up here, and it's that color there. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna paint the sky, and I'm gonna start by doing wet on wet. Today, like I said, we're just gonna play around with colors. We are gonna use the Danielle Smith watercolors, and we're gonna try to stick to a limited palette to achieve our moody effect. So I want to begin with the sky. And hopefully I made up enough. And I didn't, so per usual, I'm going to go ahead and take our quinacridone rose, and then I am going to take a little bit of this phthalo green, a little bit more phthalo green, kind of checking the color out. That works. So we can just kind of go down. Put it darker on top. As we fade down to the mountainside. For the moon, we'll go ahead and we're going to use our PH Martin bleed proof white, but we will not do that till a bit later. And so I love how this color looks. It's funny, with such a limited palette, you can achieve so many colors. I will list down below the videos I have to go with color mixing. It is a wonderful series. But today I wanted to go with some moody colors. And the sky is gray out, it's gray outside. And it's just a wonderful day, I think, to paint with some moody colors. And it's a wonderful way for us beginner watercolorists to practice some color mixing. Okay, so now this is pretty dry. We're gonna go ahead and mix up kind of greenish color, and what we're gonna do is take some phthalo green. I'm gonna take a good bit of that, and then I want to try to put a little bit of this Pyrrole Scarlet. And let's check the color. I think that I want it to be a little bit darker. I'm gonna take some more of this Pyrrole Scarlet. And then a good bit of this Pyrrole green. Or not Pyrrole green, but phthalo green. Sorry, guys. And then I'm going to maybe take a little bit of this rose color. And a little bit more phthalo green. Yeah. And so that's the color I'm looking for. Sometimes you just gotta play around with it to see. So I'm gonna go ahead and I wanna start filling in this mountain. And you guys can see, it does not take much, you guys, to use a very limited palette and everything look very cohesive. And that's what we want. Now, being mindful of the house. So for us beginner painters, this is, you're using negative painting to shape out the house. And I am using a Princeton Elite, Aqua Elite brush, and it's in a size 8 round. If you guys want, you can definitely use something smaller. And so I'm just taking it down to this hill. And I think these whimsical folk art paintings are a wonderful way to practice color mixing and other techniques. So today we learn how to mix Moody colors. We're doing some negative painting for the house, and hopefully it's easy pressure, you know, not a lot of stress on doing it. Trying to work pretty fast here, guys. Working on trying to get a smooth gradient, but the main thing is trying to work fast and keeping that bead going. And it probably would have been easier if I did wet on wet, but I didn't. So you guys may want to do the wet on wet. I think it's a lot easier when you're trying to get these big bases down. And then if we need to go back over this at any time, we can. So kind of cleaning that up a little bit. But I love how this is looking. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and let this dry, and then we will come back. Okay, so now I wanna work on some purple for here. So I'm gonna take, it's gonna be a mixture, guys. So let's take some of this quinacridone rose. Mix it with a little bit of this phthalo green. Okay, and let's see what color we got here. Maybe a little bit more phthalo green. I kind of want like an eggplanty color. A little bit better. And let's check it out with our color palette. Yeah, I think that's gonna look very pretty. So this is kind of how I play around with color, guys. You know, you just kind of gotta experiment. And that's what I like doing in my sketchbooks. And I don't always like to sketch out things ahead of time. Or, you know, the colors. But this, I kind of like when I play in my sketchbooks, I just like to play with the colors then. Because it seems like every time I do it, you can get the different color mixes, you know, a little bit more of this color, a little bit more of that, using, you know, using what you have left in your palette instead of like cleaning it out every time. I do a lot of times because of me doing the tutorials, and I want you guys to be able to exactly see what I'm mixing. Okay. And that's the reason why I do that. So I love how these colors are looking. Okay. So now I kind of want to try to deepen it. And you come up with so many different colors. Like this is something I had on my palette, and I don't know if you can see, but that's really pretty. So anyway, I think I want to come up with a little bit darker of a blue. So I'm going to go ahead and take this ultramarine blue. And let's mix some phthalo green shade with it. And that's just made a very pretty tealish color. So we're looking at blue and green. So if we add like a reddish orange, we should be able to neutralize it some. So we're going to take some of this Pyro Scarlet. And it made like a brownish color. Let's see. Yeah. We're getting a little darker now. And let's add some more of that ultramarine blue. And look at that Moody mix there. Isn't that lovely? So we're going to go ahead and I want to re-wet my sky. Because I want it even darker on top. And I want a nice gradient. So here is another tip for you beginners for gradients. It has shown wonderful technique. Okay, so we're going to take our Moody mix of the blue, and look how pretty. And then we're just going to blend it out. And just that little bit of color. Look at that. Very nice. Okay. Now, I want to go ahead and do the roof. So while we got this deep dark color here, I'm going to take some of this green mix, throw it in there, but we want to get a dark for our roof. So we're going to take some of our phthalo green once again, and then taking some of this pyro scarlet, a little bit of the phthalo green, and since they are complementary colors, we're going to have a very dark neutral. And all this is from the power of color mixing. And I'm going to go ahead and use my silver black velvet size 4 round. And I am going to go ahead and put this color over here. Lovely. I love that. And we're going to do our roof. And then before long, we will do the little details. So, filling this in. Trying not to get quiet, but I am concentrating, guys. And then slowly going down there. Sorry, my hands shake something awful all the time. It's great for trees. Okay. And then I want to make this a little darker yet, so perfect. And now I love that. Now I just gotta straighten this line up. Okay. And I think I'm gonna put the moon over here. So what I'm gonna do is lift some of that on that side, and then I want to clean this up right here. Okay, so I love how this is looking so far. And then I want to make a dark chimney. Right here. Making sure you don't use too much water. But there. So I'm going to go ahead and let this dry, and then when I come back, we are going to do the details. Okay, it's time to do our trees. Taking our neutral. And I am just very lightly using the very tip of the brush, very so lightly. And making branches this way and that way. Just ever so lightly. And if my head's in the way, I apologize, but you guys can do your branches and stuff as you see fit, as I am. Okay, there's one. Dabbing it off because you don't want it too thin. And then, once again, doing different shapes, really no rhyme or reason. And then we'll do the windows. One here. And then one here. And then I want to do another tree. Just making sure for the branches, you want to go very lightly, keeping it thicker as it goes down. Okay. And then I think we need another one. No. Okay. So now I'm going to take our P.H. Martin's bleed proof white, and I am going to use a size 2/0, maybe not. I think that's too small. Okay. So using our P.H. Martin's bleed proof white now is the fun part. I want to put my moon in. This is one of my favorite parts, is doing the details. So we're going to pick about that size. And that works for me. And for details, I really love using Christy Rice's brush from her brush set. Okay, so we got the moon. I'm gonna add some stars. Just ever so lightly. Okay. And then let's put some sheep. So we're gonna put one there, one here. One here. Here. And then one more. Okay. And then gotta have a little bit of a head. There. Because it's in the distance, so you're really not gonna see it. Just maybe like a little dot there and a little one here, just to show a little something. And then just because I want to be a little extra today, we'll do some lines in the field. I just sometimes like doing this just for a little extra detail. And you can choose not to. But I think it just gives it a little extra detail that I really like. And to show some perspective in the painting. Getting it a little bit wet. Okay, and I like that. So you guys, I think we're done. If you like what you see, make sure you hit the like button. It just really lets YouTube know on the algorithm that my videos are worth watching. It really helps support my channel, you guys. Anybody who is new, thank you for subscribing. And if you stay to the end, you guys are true superheroes. So, have a blessed day. And I'm going to go ahead and we will do the big reveal. Thanks for watching. Bye, everyone.